chewed out for what reason?
Because I like somebody. Is that normal?
Like in a
But in
did you like him as in like trying to go like further than a friendship, or is it just like as
Yes.
in like you just liked a person, or like what's the context behind that though? Like
yeah,
why?
who made fun of you?
Yeah,
Why are you
what's the
questioning?
No, nobody made fun of me. I liked a like more than a friend. I got chewed out by somebody else.
But chewed out why?
Was it a friend?
person
friend,
was
or
jealous.
Was it just like a random person? Oh, it was jealousy. Okay.
But is that normal on VR?
Well,
Yes.
Yes. But also, I don't want to be negative. But also, firstly, how old are you?
30.
Okay, 30. Okay. I mean, you said how long have you met this person for?
Probably like a week.
Okay, I think we need to be the bigger mature adults here. VR chat is not the way to go. As much as, yes, the convenience of meeting new people, finding legitimate nice people, it is not the way to go. For a variety of reasons. One, relationships don't tend to work, and if I could give like a rough estimate of relationships working, between 5 to 10%, and also people should not be gullible to think. What?
Isn't that like what like a lot of people do? Because like every time I'm on like VR chat, like in the random public worlds, everybody's talking about dating.
Well, okay, now I'm going to ask you this question, and you could probably make an assumption. Tell me the demographic of these people who actually get into dates from the earliest age to the oldest. And which one tends to be the majority demographic within VR chat when it comes to that?
I don't know. Really?
Between 14 to 20. That is the main demographic. So you're not looking into a legitimate demographic around your age of people getting relationships. You're looking into high schoolers or people in middle school from high school to barely getting out of high school, who are the most horniest, who are the ones who are obviously looking for relationships, but also don't know what they want in life, and they're barely getting something out of anything, pretty much. Anything above that, you legitimately don't see getting a relationship, and even then, the success rate, again, which you don't hear much at all for good reason, is because relationships on this game is unstable, unsustainable, and quite dumb, sadly. Because again, you don't know who this person is. You don't know how they look. You don't know their actual personality. You don't know their revenue, their income. You don't know their personal issues. You don't know anything about them. So who's there to say that you legitimately know something will work out between you two? You don't know where they live. You don't know how who's going to move in with who, like the actual transition, but also talking to them, and you don't even know if the person themselves would like you. And so these are all actual realistic issues that, one, are much more concerning, especially through VR chat, than actual real life, because in real life at least you can actually settle something. So I'm just trying to make it clear, because I see a lot of people trying to make relationships work, and I try to show them the actual statistics behind it, but also how unrealistic it is. Like, trust me, like, it would be nice if everybody here can actually make keep a relationship that's stable, that they can actually meet up and actually move it.
Goose.
That's unrealistic, 100%. And you will see a lot of people. You'll also see a lot of people, again, who continue to get relationships. Because if it was true to get a relationship, you'd see somebody most likely get into a relationship that same week, which so happens to be, sadly, you. They barely get to know them, and then let's say it did happen, a relationship, and then break off within that same month or the next month. both parties cry over what really is a non-existent relationship, and then immediately get on to the next, as if one, they're gonna actually eventually find somebody that they'll find within VRChat. But VRChat 100% is not the way to go. And again, just because you see a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's the appropriate action, because again, trust me, it's the main demographics is between 14 to 20, and you do see anything above that, yes, you slowly start to see a decrease in, especially going into the 30s. I met a variety of people, especially going to 40s. And I'm telling you, and again, a lot of people here are immature. Trust me, I met a lot of people who are unrealistic, who act like a child, who even act like they're still in high school. I met a lot of people in their 30s, late 30s even, still act like, oh, this girl said this friend of mine said this to my girl and whatnot, and then they break up. To like, what can you say? It's a game. A lot of people don't take a realistic approach to this, and on top of that, relationships. And even then, like, can you blame the person behind it? But then at the same time, they do have the blame, because obviously they're the ones making unrealistic choices. And so I'm not trying to hurt, I guess, like, your expectations. It's just, I would suggest you understand that it is really unrealistic. Like, genuinely, like, trust me, you got influencers saying otherwise, even though they're influencers. They make content creation. I've been here for longer than 4 years, and I can tell you from personal experience and the legitimate background of VRChat, you even have HBO, which, that was a fucking mess. The documentary was a fucking mess, and they fucking skewed everything from the data, and how, like, apparently you could find actual relationships on VRChat. Fucking, that is saturated as fucking hell. That is not realistic.
So like the 18 plus worlds
are like, yeah, no,
not exactly older people, again, I guess.
But like, you're not understanding. Even if you meet older people, again, you're talking majority of individuals who don't know what they want in life, who don't know what a real relationship is. They're not realistic about the situations, so they don't know anything. So even if you met people who are over 18, which again is still not good in any form. And even then, like, if you meet people, you've had there's many instances where people fake off being 20 when they're 15, and so on and so forth. So even if you think you met somebody of age, who's there to say that you aren't meeting somebody who's underage? See, so it's not understanding that, hey, maybe I might be this rare instance of a dude or of a person who will find another individual and make something work. It's understanding that it is unrealistic, that you could, talk to individuals casually, but do not expect something out of that person, out of a relationship, out of anything, because ultimately at the end of it, it is a game. Yes, a lot of people do it, but it's also because they don't know what they're doing. They're not mature enough. And you could see this from, again, just play around, join a couple instances, see the actual majority of audiences and demographics, and you'll legitimately see that they don't know what they want in their life.
All right, thanks.